out of states of fatigue. I just want to remind people that there's nothing wrong with feeling fatigued. There's nothing wrong with being tired. This is emotionally, physically, and mentally fatiguing work. Imagine being black. So I just want to remind you guys that it's okay to be tired, but we need you to get back up and get back into the fight, because when we were together, we were our strongest. There's nothing wrong with being tired, but get back up.
Hi guys, I'm Emma. I'm also one of the 8 organizers in Rose City Justice. I'm also a co-founder. Yeah, thank you for coming.
Hello everybody, my name is Dominic, also part of the team of Rose City Justice. It's been a real pleasure to work with these people. I love them. These people are like family. I really want to thank y'all for coming out and supporting us. You could be home, you could be doing other things. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got a lot of work to do. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna get started here in a second. We're gonna start over in our original spot where we've started many times before. We're gonna march down Stark, take a left off of Stark onto 11th. Just remember that if you don't see one of us guiding you in a direction, don't follow anybody that isn't a member of Rose City Justice. We'll get you there safely, but just make sure that you have eyes on us and that you're listening to nobody that outside of the people that you've seen today. So we're gonna get started here in a second. We love you guys.
Yeah, I just wanted to also speak to some supporters that came and showed up in solidarity with Palestine. So there was a demonstration that was going on downtown at City Hall. There's still some people over there demonstrating about what was going on, or what has been going on, but more recently, the bombing in Gaza, this conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. And we would like you guys to know that we are also in solidarity with you. We understand that the tragedies and the injustice that's befallen the people in Palestine is a part of this structure that also oppresses and marginalizes Black people in this country. The police state that we fall victim to is the same global police state that is oppressing the Palestinians. So we're here in solidarity, and we'd like to hear some more from them later on.
That painting. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a EMT tag.
After all?
Yeah. I decided it'd be good to get the speeches, you know?
What's that?
I decided it would be good to film the speeches.
I guess they're done now, huh?
I'm sure they'll do some more speeches along the way.
Kind of much.
Yeah, they usually do speeches along the way though,
yeah,
so I'm expecting that. I have like a little lens cleaner.
Do you want me to clean your lens for you?
Who was fired?
I got a thing right here.
Oh, sure. I have like little wipes for my lenses.
Those are handy too, but this one shouldn't streak it up. Hello everybody.
I have it turned this way.
Okay, well then hello everybody.
Let's fill up. I can mess with my hair if I want to.
Probably
and
like
also
clean
this one too.
Yeah.
I put sunblock on and got apparently touched my
Uh-oh, did I do something?
my lens.
Is your stream still okay?
Yeah, we good.
Is that better?
Hey,
do you want more cleaning?
Maybe that one a little bit, the front one. Thanks. Woo-woo, we're clear, we're clear. All right.
Nice.
Hey everybody, it's me, Carissa Dez. I'm here at the Rose City Justice March.
Streamer Essentials.
Yep. I almost brought one of those, but I just brought the little
That's right, yeah, especially for my mirror
one-time
case.
use ones. Oh yeah, I gotta keep that
I highly
mirror case.
recommend. 'Cause
You
it
can
keeps
like
the
check your
sun-
hair too.
Yeah, that too. And if you're on camera, then you can kind of see.
Yeah, you can
yourself.
see what is going on behind you too, because sometimes people will like pop.
Well,
Well, I guess if I
I
have
don't
it
have it
turned this
turned this
way,
way.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
see what's happening anyway.
But no, it keeps it from overheating as much.
Hey Jay, hey Cheryl, hey Rebecca. We're marching for justice. I see you. Rebecca's here today.
I'm tempted to go live for like 2 minutes.
I'm not sure what this stuff is. But I like it. There's an okay sized crowd here. I mean, not here, but behind me. This is Revolution Hall where we're starting from. I was trying to get a drink before the march started, but then they started speaking and I didn't have time.
Got my van right over there. You want a water?
No, I was just looking for a beer, a real drink, an adult drink. But I can wait. Oh, there you are.
Alright, I was gonna take your picture too. Good habit, right?
Thank you. I was hoping somebody took my picture yesterday because I look badass. But
Pretty awesome dress. Eyes are closed.
oh no!
Hold on a second. Yeah, how was one more.
Close up.
And further. There we go. Good enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, that one's my favorite.
Oh my god.
Get a girl. No, that wait, go back.
This one?
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
I love it. I'm gonna show the stream.
That's me. Oh, that's my favorite picture of all time.
That's just perfect.
Nice. Oh, we got this little kid in black bloc. Love that. How's everybody doing today?
Sorry, it's just too tempting. My car is right there, so.
You're gonna take off
Yeah,
for this?
but I'm gonna do JFPK tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well, it was good seeing you briefly.
Yeah, you too.
I guess I'll be the lone streamer today. Hopefully I don't
Wait, are
get
you
beat
the
up.
only one?
I think so. I think so.
I don't need the stream, do I?
You don't need to. I think I'll be okay.
Be sure to share your stream.
All right.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you. Will do. Please share this out, people. Friends. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. You're sick? Sorry you're not feeling well, Jessica.
Every city, every town.
Yeah, don't you worry.
Every city, every town.
Oh, what a beautiful baby. You have a beautiful baby. Your baby is beautiful. Oh gosh. He's like, I know. Hey, Nicole. Thank you to my awesome moderators. Nicole's here, Dee's here. Holding it down. Yeah, let's see if I can share this out a little bit. Whoa.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
where they're marching to, really. Oh, whoops. Shoot. I need to change my title. Shoot. I thought I changed it already. Crap. I'll be right back, folks. I'll be right back. What's going on, Dee? That's absolutely true, Dee. The people that you can hear chanting are anarchists that showed up to sweep the event. And Rose City Justice is up there with their microphone, but you can't really hear them.
I don't want
to sing about black lives. I want to sing about how much we love black people. Do you remember?
Two different chants. There's one that's like abolitionist chanting, and then there's different chanting ahead. So it's kind of giving me a headache. 500 people.
Say George Floyd. Say his name.
George Floyd!
Say his name.
George Floyd!
Say his name.
And then they're going to be meeting up with another group as well, I believe.
Say his name.
So I'm guessing it'll be like 500 peeps.
Say his name.
About half are anarchists who don't want to be filmed, so I'm just staying to the front. They don't like to be live streamed. Yeah, please share this out, folks. Yeah, they never stop. Out almost every single night still. It's just not live streamed every night or every day. Well, the demands are a little bit different, but this is just kind of like an anniversary march in remembrance of George Floyd and almost a year of protesting. Hey, what's up, Freedom? Black organizers who are here are not cool with that. Some of them. I don't even know who it was that threw the firework, honestly. And then there's a guy over here that was talking crap and pushed somebody, so they're being de-escalated, just talking to. And I told them to get out of here.
Somebody tell me what you've been doing. Organizing, protesting. What are you organizing? How many of you have talked to your employers about their upper management? Okay, okay. How many of you know that what
Hey Bonnie, this is a George Floyd march.
What else could you be doing? How many of you been reading books? How many of you been listening to podcasts? Somebody tell me a good podcast. Resistance? Alright, I haven't listened to that one. Is it good?
Give it up to Nicholas Restaurant.
Yeah, that's right.
Nicholas Restaurant, Lebanese food.
Somebody give me a
Yum
book.
yum.
Who's been reading books? What was it? My grandmother's hands. How many of you read that one? Alright. I was reading White Supremacy and Me doing that worksheet because I have to do the work too. Y'all have to do the work. Y'all know you gotta do the work? You know the work is hard? Instead it gets tired.
I'll tell y'all now.
It's okay to be tired, but you gotta
No, I don't want to be the
tired,
one to tell
right?
you. You can look into that.
Are you gonna make mistakes while you do the work? Is that okay?
Basically, a lot of community members in the protest community especially don't support the group.
Are you gonna make the same mistakes over and over? No! That's right. That was a good one. I thought you were gonna say yes. But you've been listening. I appreciate that.
Say his name!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
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 Say it again!
illegal assembly or unlawful assembly.
What do we want? When do we want
James
it?
Ray.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice.
Looks like they're talking to looks like some of my friends are confronting my other friends.
What do you see?
It's a goddamn tinder pile! Do not fuck with fireworks!
I was gonna help put it out, but you have a cigarette? I need one. This shit is getting. Thank you. This is getting really stressful. A lot of my black friends are talking crap to my black bloc friends over here. Man, this is hard. Yes, partially, D. They're getting stopped in the street. But I don't think they're gonna stop. A generator? Yeah, I'm not sure. They might have. I'm sure they worked with the manager or owner of the building or something. fire, but they put it out.
All right, we don't stay together so we can stay safe, right? We're gonna keep each other safe, right?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
We're here for unity. We're here to be together for Black lives. Because we can make a difference together. Because there ain't no power like the power of the people. Because the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power.
Yeah, Joanne was marching. I just saw her marching actually a bit ago. I don't know where she is now.
There ain't no power like the power of the people. Because the power of the people don't stop. There ain't no power like the power of the people. Because the power of the people don't stop. There ain't no power.
I'm assuming they're gonna go over the bridge, is what they usually do. I forget what her name is. I think it's Kenzie. Somebody hit Dre. What? Okay, I might have to end the live. All right.
No cops, no KKK, no fashion USA. Say what? No cops, no KKK, no fashion.
You know, I think there's the escalators here that should be able to handle it.
No KKK, no racist USA.
I'm just getting stressed out.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No cops, no KKK, no fascist USA. Stay together.
You heard what she said?
Stay together. Stay together. Stay together. 'Cause Black lives matter. The Black lives
Yeah, I mean, both groups welcome me into be press of some form. So yeah, it's just weird when they're like, when the groups are fighting.
Stay together. Stay together. Stay together. Stay together. You guys remember the marching one we did last year? Yeah, baby. We gon' march, we gon' march, we gon' march for freedom. We gon' march, we gon' march, we gon' march for freedom. We gon' march, we gon' march, we gon' march for justice. We gon' march, we gon' march, we gon' march for justice.
No, I don't give a fuck about you because you're not black. You don't know what I'm talking about. So shut the fuck up.
Hey, Garfield.
Bitch, like you're not.
Hey, what's up? Did you dye your hair recently? Looks good. Looks good. Looking fly. I'm a little stressed out right now. I'm like, should I end my live and go like try to talk to both groups or?
See, this is the problem here is because we have 90% of the security guarding themselves as opposed to like the people who are actually vulnerable right here.
Yeah, I think they're de-escalating though.
But
No, they're doing it really.
They are not. No.
You know, they're doing what they're doing.
I went down there to see to make sure that it was going swimmingly, and then I heard that it was not, and I left because I was like, that's not how you do it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna get in between right now. I'm just stressed out.
It's fucking wild.
Like you can't de-escalate something.
Yeah, no, that's why you just keep moving.
It's a mess.
And you forget about it.
I just don't feel like there's any good
I'm just gonna continue filming this because the other group doesn't want me filming them anyway, you know?
We gon' march, we gon' march, we gon' march for freedom.
It's a little stressful, okay?
We gon' march, we gon' march, we gon' march for justice.
Did they punch?
We gon' march, we gon' march, we gon' march for justice.
That's great, but somebody's Kaylee.
That's not cool. I think that they're fighting against the wrong people. I'm gonna look on them Thank you. No, I'm safe. I'm safe. I don't really want to go into it too much.
You're gonna go. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna go Black Lives Matter. You ready? Loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. Black Lives Matter. 1, 2, 3. Black Lives Matter. 1, 2, 3. Black Lives Matter. Pretty good. You think you could do any louder? You think maybe? Yeah? Can you? All right. 1, 2, 3. Black Lives
Yeah, it's on Twitter. If you good or did you permanently dye your brows? Oh wow, cool. Let me see. Hey. Looks good. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
There's somebody trying to run into the crowd, but the motorcade is strong today. Okay, never mind. It's the Palestinian march joining in on this march.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Stay together.
Yeah, they have there's the Palestinian march, and they're joining up with this with this march. I didn't see any Proud Boys. I just saw one person that pushed somebody who was marching. That's about it that I saw. Looks like the other group of people in black bloc are walking that way. And then the group of Palestinians are coming through with a car caravan. Right, Kate Variable? They're like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't say this racist thing. Yeah, this is live. Hey, what's up, Daniel?
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Hey. What's that spell? What is that spell?
Thank you.
Black Lives Matter. 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 No justice. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. 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 No racist. Police. I said no justice. No peace. No racist. Police. I said no justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice.
Tactical entertainment. Yeah, I guess so.
No class. No KKK. No fascist USA. No KKK. No fascist USA.
Oh, that's security.
No cops. No KKK. No fascist USA. No cops. No KKK.
the clip out. These people are like watching a concert down there. I have to go check it out. Making a hole. There's a concert going on down there. George Floyd march, but there is a Free Palestine march, and they're joining up with this group. They have a car caravan.
Where's Braxton?
He's at home, I think. I'm not sure. I know, I was trying to get him to come out.
Damn it, Braxton.
Braxton, are you watching? Come out. Where are you at? Which hair color, the red or the green? Yeah, they always have hair that looks on point and beautiful. Mondo. Here's the tiny homes. Like I was saying, they should have more over here too, so that these people can have little homes, in my opinion. Oh yeah, this is a George Floyd march. It's almost the 1 year anniversary of his death, and almost a whole year of protesting in Portland. I'm putting on a little event on the 28th, which is the day that protest started in Portland. it's an empty lot. You'd think that they would just let them have it. Thank you, Carmen Jewelry. Yeah, I love Portland, and it really isn't perfect. They really need to work on helping their houseless community a little bit more. I think local government knows that. Hopefully they can make some positive changes and provide more housing for the people that they're sweeping. They're starting to sweep more and more. They're ramping up the sweeps as 10-wheeler. So hopefully they can at least provide housing for those people so they can get on their feet. This is the first place I ever streamed. I think it was like May 29th. I streamed on my account that's now private, my personal account. I was in my car and I was actually joining up with the Rose City March, May 29th, 2020. And a lot of the people that are here today are out the day that I streamed for the first time, because I went back and watched my old streams recently and recognized a lot of friends who I didn't know at the time, but I know now. Love to New Jersey. Which bridge this was. It's Hawthorne Bridge. Woo, sorry.
Bye.
me some water. Thanks for the reminder. Thank you for the donation, Kurt. Much love. From the Oregonian, the guy that was just limping in front of me. Got some cops over there. Oh yeah, I need that. Oh, I can't run though. Yes. Put the piggy in my shirt real quick. Yeah, Portland is like 70-something% white, so that's kind of what you would expect, right? Like 77% white people in Portland, and the rest are minorities. Is that the correct thing to say? Still minorities? I don't know. Things are always changing. The rest are non-white, I'll say that. Yeah, there's just a couple cops posted up over there. I'm wondering if the other group came over here, the anti-fascist group, abolitionist group, I guess I would say. That's a good way to keep the pole in the ground, I guess. It's better than duct tape, I guess. Trouble, not bad trouble. You know what I mean? This is my favorite chant. Freeway! Yeah, Portland definitely is not burnt to the ground, as you can see. Yeah, people are trying to put the lie out that Portland is over and Portland is burnt down. It's lies. It's not lies that the media is trying to put out there. Lies that K2 and Coin are trying to put out.
And then I want y'all to say, matter is the minimum. Y'all ready? Yeah! Who you think you kidding, son? Matter is the minimum. Who you think you kidding, son? Matter is the minimum. Who you think you kidding, son? Matter is the minimum. Black lives.
Oh, heck yeah. I actually saw her, Al Sharpton, speak in person in DC. Thank you, Lemon.
Hey, is this a George Floyd march? Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd! 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 If you've been watching the protests since last May, you'll recognize this place. There were a lot of events that ended here, and a lot of good speeches had here. Dinosaur block? Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's pretty cool, Wiggity. Hey, what's up, Lohum?
Wow.
Now I really wish I would have brought my coat. Oh well. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, there's a lot of goose poop. Watch out. I'm gonna be the T-Rex. I think I'll be the Plesiosaurus. Somebody's vape smells really good. Like berries or something.
Thank you guys for standing with us. Thank you guys for walking with us. Thank you guys for fighting with us. Let us never forget we are here for black lives, black and brown lives, to support progress for black lives. There will always be people who intend to hijack the narrative for their own interests, using the vehicle of Black Lives Matter. We have to understand there is a distinguishing factor between those who are here for the right reasons and those who are here for selfish reasons. This did nothing, I hope this did nothing to you guys, but remind you that this fight is not over. That there is always gonna be people on the right, on the left, anywhere, that do not care about the progress of our movement. I care, do y'all care? Do y'all care? Do y'all care? I love you guys, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Fists up in the air real quick, fists up in the air. Love you guys. Thank you. We're about to get started.
Yeah.
You need a water?
Marissa, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm Carissa, Braxton's friend. I met you a few times, but I probably look a lot different.
There you go. Hey,
All right. We have a lot of awesome speakers lined up for you. I'm really excited for you to hear what they have to say because they have a lot of good stuff. And on the way here,
I'm just gonna share it.
we wanted to speak a little bit about community. So while we're bringing up some of our speakers, I wanted to introduce you really briefly to Coco, who I met today,
I met your
who
friend,
came here on her way, and she's got something to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think you could download it on Facebook.
Hello, my name is Coco. I just want to brief this by saying I have Tourette's, so if you hear any weird noises, that's just
This is
me.
Coco. Love
I really
Coco.
wanted to quickly say a big thank you to all of those who were checking in on me after that loud firework went off and I started having a panic attack. It really means a lot to me that the community cares so much that someone was willing to pull me into a car and make sure I was okay. So I just wanted to really quickly say thank you. I'll hand it back over to all the wonderful speakers. Thank you.
Love you, Coco. Woo!
That's you. That's the power of this community, and what we need is for you to come out, and the next time we throw a march, the next time we have an action, we need you to bring your community with you, because we're stronger together, right? We're stronger together, right? We're stronger together, right? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So last year, we filled the whole space, but we're just getting started again. And we want to be here for you, and we want to create a space that is safe and feels comfortable and is one where we can trust each other to have each other's backs. And y'all did that today, and I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying together and staying tight, right? That's right. So like I said earlier, my name is Chrissy. I'm part of Rose City Justice. I joined last year when everything was happening. I started singing, and then it was a cool thing. So I thought maybe I'll just stick around for a while. And we've been through some ups and downs and sidewayses and some swerves and twists and tumbles. But we're here because it matters. And I'm here because I care. Do you care? Yeah. Do you care? Do you care? I believe you because I see you and it matters. We have some information coming to you about some policies. We have some programs coming through. Did you know that there are still people who are in prison from non-unanimous juries? Boo. Boo. That's unconstitutional. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about qualified immunity for a minute, because do y'all know what qualified immunity is?
Yes.
Do you know that there's a police officer who sucked his dog on a boy who was sitting, his hands behind his head. The dog attacks him, police dog, for like 30 seconds. Can you count to 30? That's a stupid long time. No action. He's just sitting there following orders, and there's no punishment for that police officer because it's never happened before. Qualified immunity means if it's never happened before and there's no specific rule against it, there's no action taken. So you fire into a crowd and you accidentally kill somebody. Well, there wasn't any specific action saying you couldn't fire against that person once they are fleeing, so they get away with it. So the police get to do things, and because it's not specifically every detail of life written down, or there hasn't been a case about it lining it out before, they get to do whatever. That's unacceptable. So there's other states who have banned it. We haven't. We're trying to, because it would make a difference in holding people accountable for their actions. Police accountability is a real thing. We don't have it in this country. It's necessary to function as a civilization, I think. So we'll hear about that. Yeah, pretty excited about it. Solomon, you got any news? Nah. In the meantime, how about say his name?
George Floyd!
Say his name.
George Floyd!
Say his name.
George Floyd!
Say his name.
George Floyd!
We're here because it's been almost a year. Next week will be a year since he was murdered. An entire year has gone by, and not a whole lot has happened. I mean, there have been some awesome things, but in the grand scheme of oppression, there's a long ways to go. And it's important now that we keep fighting and that we inform people that there's so much farther to go, because there's a lot of folks that I know who think, oh, Biden's in. We did it. Is that true?
No!
Is it true?
No!
Is it true?
No!
But people think so, right? Y'all know people who are like, oh, phew. That's tiring. I'm good. Right? It's our jobs. It's your jobs. You're here. And the work is heavy and it's hard and it's ongoing, but it's necessary. And it's our jobs to keep doing that work, to keep informing people of the atrocities that are still happening and what we can do to change it. We have to do stuff. Like showing up is awesome, and there's homework, right? You have to call your representatives. You have to know who your representatives are. You have to call them and tell them what you need, what you want. You have to stand up and speak up for people who aren't at the table, which means observing who is at the table. Like, I don't always remember that there are stairs to the buildings that I'm in because I don't think about it because I can walk up the stairs. But it's my job as someone who can walk up the stairs to notice that there's nobody who has different abilities at the table. And I have to speak up and say, hey, is there a ramp? Is there an elevator? Is there something? What are you doing to make this more accessible for everyone? And it's hard to remember that always. Like, look around and notice in a room, like, how many women are on your executive leadership? How many black people are on your executive leadership? How many Asians? What kind? Like, South Pacific Islander? Yeah. Like, yeah. Here's Solomon.
I didn't mean to cut her off. She was just ready. But sorry. Thank you guys for coming out. I wanted to bring up to speak somebody who I had just came to know over the past year as I was able to get involved with a play that she wrote. There's a project meant to be a play. Because it was COVID time, we ended up recording and presenting it as a film called Silent Voices. And she wrote this, was inspired to write this because her grandson was a victim of the police, ᴑᴏ Hayes. You guys remember ᴑᴏ Hayes? Mm-hmm. Say his name.
ᴑᴏ Hayes.
Say his name.
ᴑᴏ Hayes.
So ᴑᴏ Hayes' grandmother, Donna, she's here. She has some words prepared, and she's going to speak to us. Give her a hand.
That comment about Joe Biden. I didn't know that. Oh yeah, you have one now. Yeah, it's hard to get upstairs.
Thank you for having me. I'm a person that like to write. And this was a way for me to get through my grief. And so I wrote this. It's called The Unimaginable. It's about what parents go through after their families have been killed by police violence. Unimaginable. The unimaginable means difficult or impossible to imagine or incomprehensible. This is the plight of families all over the United States that have had their family members murdered through police violence. To get the call or read it on social media, that's the way I got it, or media call you for a story that their loved ones have been killed, and that was through Shelly Morgan, her son Brad Morgan, not just killed at the hands of cops, but feeling something doesn't sound right. It is inconceivable the manner of their death, or something that is so out of character. At the moment, the pain is mind-boggling. There are families in this country across these 50 states who deal with the incredible pain, suffering, and hardship of the unimaginable. They live with the unbelievable concept that they are gone. Mothers live with the torment that the person they carried to birth went through labor with, whether hard or easy, it's gone. When the unimaginable happens, there is an indescribable hole their life where the whole their life where the life was. Gone is the dreams. Gone is the future. Gone is the hope. Gone are the plans for the future. All the dreams, hopes, and plans replaced with unimaginable. There are fathers with the plans to impart knowledge to their offspring. If it was ugliness of the world, they wanted her to grow healthy and know how a man should treat her. If it's a boy, they wanted to teach him the strength of a man. They would impart to him the need to protect and support the family. And if it was a child happened to fall in the class of LGBTQ, he will give them that safe space. He will teach society how to see them right. But when the unimaginable happens, there is a fury. Gone is the joy of watching them grow. Gone is the strength and purpose. Gone is the light in their eyes. Gone are all the joys, all the purpose, and the light of his life is replaced with the unimaginable. Can you imagine watching a video of the last moment of someone dear? Watching a video as cops tase someone dear over and over again. watched them tase him all over, even in the testicle. This was happening to Graham Dyer. His parents watched them be tased like that. There is a set of parents whose life has been changed over that video. A married mother carried her child to fruition, only to see the death at the hands of an overzealous cop with a torturous desire. Watching him take his first breath, now his last scream. Many families in this country spend time with the unimaginable, knowing the person you brought into this life was taken from you in a hail of bullets. Your child was running in fear as a cop joyously gunned him down in the back. Your child is beaten to death for saying something a cop didn't like. Your child choked to death for just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Later, the cops just fist bump each other for great joy they have done. Many fathers in this country spend time with the unimaginable, knowing that the person you so happily awaited their entrance into the world was killed just because a cop believes your child looked like a gangbanger. That's what happened to Keaton Otis. Your child was in a car that the cops thought he did not belong in, and a neighborhood he didn't belong in. James Perez. Now these are Portland people. Cops ready to shoot, and the flash of their muzzle, then the unimaginable occurs. They watch a few teens get into a car, and the only one that doesn't come home is yours. This is not a father's dream, nor now he lives with hurt and guilt, wondering where he went wrong and what he could have done to change. He now must stay strong when all he wants to do is break down as his heart is steady ripping inside. He is not often caught having that blank stare as he relives the past, living the unimaginable. Can you imagine standing in a hallway, handcuffed, listening to your husband beg for his life? You see him trying to crawl on his hands and knees just as he can be cuffed, standing near a cop with your gun pointing at the father of your kids, seeing written on the cop's gun, "You're fucked." Bang! Your plans are over. Part of your unimaginable is to explain to your children what happened. Your unimaginable continues, and you wonder how you will keep your child from seeing the video when it's public on YouTube. John Ellifritz, that's another Portland. Can you imagine watching your wife killed? Part of your unimaginable is standing watching a cop trying to kill the family dog. Bang! Your wife is on the ground instead. Another part of your unimaginable is knowing your child watched his mother die on a cold sidewalk. What is so unimaginable is how you will remove that sight and the nightmares that accompany that unnecessary action. Watching the unimaginable is living in a house where your grandson took his last breath. The backyard where cops could have left the young man alone but felt the need to follow. What is unimaginable is that he lost his life for holding a cell phone. Can you imagine again having family over for barbecues? Can you imagine having to take out the garbage and see the place where he took his last breath? What is unimaginable is your other half, your twin. Can you imagine your twin on a secluded road, alone, surrounded by cops? You can feel the fire that your mirror of yourself is falling. Your life has changed. Your friend is gone. All you are left with is memories of what could have and what should have in life. We all have many coping mechanisms when dealing with the unimaginable. Some of us hand over the grief of the unimaginable to a higher power. Some of us have families they talk to and depend on. Many seek counseling because day after day gets harder to make it through. There are fighters who go into the trenches so they don't have to feel the pain of the unimaginable. If you see a person sitting in the park crying, they might be living the unimaginable. If you see a person sitting on a bus staring out the window, not actually looking at anything, they might be living the unimaginable. If you see someone walking down the street talking to themselves, they might be living the unimaginable. Don't judge the unimaginable. I lived through the unimaginable. I didn't see my grandson's life being taken. He was 17. I had all sorts of plans. I seen things in him that he possibly could do. Things that he promised me. Him and my daughter promised when I get my old age, they would take care of me. He's gone. I'm missing one that's gonna help take care of me. So know this, if you see me walking down the street talking to myself, I'm living the unimaginable.
Not crying. You're crying.
Wow.
Whew.
Powerful words. I was, as I said, I had the pleasure of making the acquaintance of Donna because of the powerful words that she wrote on behalf of her grandson, as well as a handful of other people who fell victim to the police. So you guys go and check out the film. It's called Silent Voices. You can find it on Open Signal. Last I checked, it was still up on Open Signal.
Silent Voices on Open Signal.
It's really powerful. Let's give Donna another round of applause.
Yeah, exactly, your snake.
So we talked about some of the things that are important to us that we want you guys to have on the forefront of your mind, some of the political action that's going on right now. And we've got a returning speaker, somebody who graced our stage last year, who also recently was helping to run a mayoral campaign that got really close to winning. He's going to come and speak on behalf of the Still in Prison campaign, Mr. Greg McKelvey. Give him a hand.
Hi everybody, sorry my son, I guess, has decided to join me. Yay! I'm so happy to grace the stage with Donna Hayes. Actually, my son's first protest ever, he met Donna Hayes, and I still have the picture, and it's one of my most proud moments. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Still in Prison campaign and about non-unanimous juries in Oregon. I think we all saw the powerful images of statues, monuments being pulled down, monuments to racism last year and this year. But I want to remind us that we also have to pull down the institutional monuments to racism, many of which still exist here in the state of Oregon. Every juror's voice is supposed to matter, but up until 2020, Not in Oregon. For over 80 years, Oregonians were oppressed by a law pushed by the Ku Klux Klan to silence the voices and opinions of whoever they wanted on criminal juries. In April 2020, the United States Supreme Court finally acknowledged what was long obvious, that this law is rooted in racism and discrimination and is unconstitutional. Yet hundreds are still in prison in Oregon. Thousands who have served their time still are burdened by their unconstitutional convictions. It's not okay. But we, here in this crowd, have the power to change this. In every other state in the country and in federal courts, every person on a jury has to vote that the prosecution proved guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. A unanimous jury is the cornerstone of American law. Oregon was the last state in the country to allow a person to be convicted and sent to prison even when up to 2 people voted not guilty, allowing a 10-2 or an 11-1 non-unanimous decision meant that the opinions of 2 jurors could be completely disregarded in silence. The jury could and did convict without them. So I'm gonna go through a little bit of this history. It's something that every time I talk about, people are astonished that it happened here in Oregon. But in 1898, Louisiana endorsed non-unanimous juries at a constitutional convention to, quote, establish the supremacy of the white race. The non-unanimous jury rule was passed in order to ensure, quote again, to ensure that African American juror service would be meaningless. Then in 1934, during a rising tide of racism, anti-Semitism, and xenophobia pushed by the KKK, Oregon joined Louisiana as the only other state to allow non-unanimous juries, specifically to silence the voices of minorities. In 1985, while imprisoned in Louisiana for a crime he didn't commit, a man named Calvin Duncan started learning the law first to help himself. He ultimately became a jailhouse lawyer, getting paid 20 cents an hour to help other men with their legal cases. He started noticing that non-unanimous juries were putting a lot of people behind bars unfairly. He filed petition after petition challenging non-unanimous juries, and he repeatedly lost. But in 2011, after 23 petitions, after 18 and a half years in prison, Calvin Duncan was released, and the Supreme Court finally took up the case. On Calvin Duncan's 23rd attempt, the Supreme Court finally agreed to take up the issue and decide whether the Louisiana and Oregon non-unanimous jury laws were constitutional. And it was Justice Kavanaugh, actually, who wrote the opinion, joined with the liberal justices, and said that non-unanimous juries are rooted in racism, and struck down the decision. That was the Ramos case. In the Ramos case, they got rid of non-unanimous juries, and nobody in the state of Oregon will ever be convicted of a non-unanimous jury ever again. Thank you, Stokely. This is good. This is good, but there are over 300 people still imprisoned and thousands of people still living with the burden of these convictions, or who did so until their death, that are still in prison because that constitutional ruling was not retroactive. So even though this rule is rooted in racism, even though that it was pushed by the KKK, even though that it's specifically designed to silence the voices of minority jurors, there are still people right up the street, there's still people in all of the Oregon prisons still in jail for non-unanimous juries because of racism. There's a juror that I'm in contact with named Cash Spencer. She was the only black person in the courtroom other than the defendant. She was a holdout juror, but the black man still went to jail for over 20 years, to prison for over 20 years, because the third holdout juror didn't have child care for the next day of jury duty. The only 2 black people in the courtroom. So what do we do now? right? There's 300 people in jail. Well, luckily, our Attorney General has the power today to free, or not to free, but to grant new trials for all the people still in prison because of non-unanimous juries. And she hasn't yet because it hasn't been a political issue. Raise your hand in the crowd if you've heard of non-unanimous juries before this. Wow, then we've done a good job as a campaign. But for a long time, so many people hadn't. But I need every one of you to join the Still in Prison campaign. We have a website, stillinprison.org, and we need you to sign the petition that is still in prison. So if you have a phone, take it out right now. Stillinprison.org. On that website, there's going to be a petition for you to sign to tell the Attorney General to grant these people new trials. We're not saying open up the gates. We're not saying that everybody needs to be freed because of this instantly. We're saying that every person convicted by a Jim Crow jury deserves a jury trial that is untainted by this specific form of KKK-pushed racism. Y'all on that website, you see the petition? You got it? You got it? So I want to tell y'all right now, the Attorney General could fix this issue. Ellen Rosenblum could fix this issue with the stroke of a pen in one day. If you tell all of your friends, all of your neighbors about this issue, that everybody convicted of non-unanimous juries will get a fair new trial. We're also looking for a legislative fix. If you're part of an organization, just like Rose City Justice, please join the coalition and get involved in this campaign so that we can make sure that we get rid of Jim Crow juries. And once again, if we are pulling down monuments to racism, let's also pull down the institutional monuments to racism. Thank you all.
Thank you, Greg. Change is slow. Movements of massive proportion can still be slowed by the levers of power through our democracy. But we cannot give up hope. Our efforts last summer are paying off. And let us not forget, we will continue to work towards complete defunding of the police and a redistribution of the funds towards addressing the root causes that plague our communities. In the meantime, as we continue to rethink public safety, here are bills moving forward through the state legislature that will ensure the police are more accountable. House Bill 2929 will strengthen an officer's duty to report misconduct. It will also require that a statewide officer misconduct be kept to keep officers from transferring to other departments without having their records followed. House Bill 2930 will lower the burden of proof for arbitration proceedings concerning alleged misconduct by law enforcement officers and will create a new statewide commission for law enforcement that will set the new standards of discipline regarding bias, use of force, professionalism, and more. Here is a short list of bills around the world of policing that are moving through the legislature, none of which would have happened without last year's pressure and efforts. HB 3164, interfering with a peace officer, narrows the scope of conduct encompassed by the statute by limiting the criminality of a refusal to obey an order to circumstances when an officer is performing duties regarding another person or conducting a criminal investigation. It also prohibits the arrest of a person for interfering with a peace officer for conduct that would constitute any other criminal offense. HB 3273, booking photos, prohibits release of booking photos except under specialized circumstances. Establishes deadlines for publications that require payment of fees to remove booking photos upon request. Caps fees that may be charged by publications for removal. Prohibits fees in certain circumstances. HB 2986, DPSST, training gender prejudice. Requires board on public safety standards and training to ensure all police officers and certified reserve officers receive training related and investigating, identifying and reporting crimes motivated by prejudice based on perceived gender of the victim. HB 2513, police accountability and duty to act. In the event of a restrained individual suffering respiratory or cardiac compromise, the officer will alert the 911 emergency services system immediately to activate advanced emergency medical response when tactically feasible. HB 3047, doxing, establishes a path for victims to seek civil cause of action against those who disseminate specified personal information with intent to harass, humiliate, or injure and knowingly cause personal information to be disclosed. HB 2204, qualified immunity. We must continue to show up through marching, through testimony, emails, calling our legislators, applying pressure on them to do the right thing and improve the community that we live in. Thank you.
One thing I want to let you guys know, especially as some folks are leaving and whatnot, try to maintain a buddy system, because we had got a report through somebody that there was like some biker gang that said that they were going to come and try to like snatch people up. We do have people here like watching your back, but that's just something to be mindful of as you go out away from here, especially like if you're dressed in block, because they're kind of targeting Antifa, or if you look protesty or whatever. Maintain a buddy system for safety. All right, thank you.
All right, thanks for sticking in. Our next speaker is Sean York, who is the nephew of George Floyd, which is why we're here now. It started this entire movement, it started this moment, and I'm glad that we're here today celebrating his life and the accomplishments we've come to. So where we are now is what we're focused on and where we've come in the last year. And so I'd like you to give a round of applause for Sean.
Thank you guys for coming out tonight. It's quite an interesting position to be in, being in the position of a survivor of a police violence. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's an odd position to be in this position. It's never has gone by a day that I haven't always been affected by the idea of police violence, but once it was within the realm of our family and within the realm of the degrees of separation that like actually affect you. I mean, I had more than one family member when we actually got all together that was very, we're just shocked. I mean, months and months went by that was the general disposition. And how do you move on from being like somebody that survived that? You have levels of survivor's guilt. You have levels of what can I have done to make this better? Like what can I do in the future to prevent this from happening again? Fortunately, there are people who are keen on making sure those kind of actions happen. You guys are all here showing out today, showing that there are people that still care and that there are going to be people that will continuously remember not just the loss of George, but the loss of other people that also are victims to this kind of it's almost an overindulgence of like police cruelty. I can't put any other words to it other than the fact that I'm starting to believe that they enjoy the cruelty and that the best way to go about doing it is the best way to go about handling this issue is to make sure that we put some checks and balances on a system that has never really had any correct checks and balances. Fortunately, the House has passed the George Floyd Policing Act. It's in a standstill in the Senate. So right now, the pressure is needed to be applied to making sure that that form of accountability is there. Because I mean, when we have some level of accountability where you can say, hey, you can't keep doing this without any measure of knowing when enough is enough. I mean, this is how often it was common to hear the good cops, bad cops narrative. I'm truly in the thought process of believing that there are some good cops, but the tree is rotten, and the good cops are the ones that are attached to a bad, corrupt, rotten system that is no longer working for the population. Not that it ever worked for the population, but I think as a well enough informed society, I think we understand now that we no longer can continue to live like this. And the best way that we can go about doing that is to make sure that we ensure change, if not for ourselves, but for our future. And I mean, that's what I'm hoping the most for. So I thank everyone for continuing to keep forth the effort. We're all in a general level of fatigue with this after 4 years of Trump. Those of us who are black, our entire lifetimes of having to deal with that. It's not something that we can just easily give up, but the best thing I can say is that hold tight, and you're not going to win a battle by giving up easily. You're going to have to deal with some wherewithal. You're going to have to deal with a fight that you probably have never had to fight. That's why we're all here. I mean, we are the descendants of people who had to survive way harder situations than what we're enduring now. And it's more or less to a point where we have to just apply like just the standards that we would hope for everybody. I mean, there's no reason that we can't be an empathetic society that absorbs the pain of others. I mean, we have an immeasurable amount of pain going on in the world, specifically going on right now in Israel, and the issue going on in Palestine. That is going to be a highlight of our future because it has been something going on not as long as our struggle, but the last 70 plus years has not been easy for them, and apartheid in any form is not okay. So I stand in solidarity with my brothers and sisters, and I stand in solidarity with anyone that has to go through that kind of measure of not just loss, but just incalculable pain. I mean, you have to feel that at the end of the day. So I think the best effort that all of us can do is to hold on. You have to keep reminding everyone in your communities that this is important. There are constant issues, whether it be issues with anti-Asian hate, where it's issues with anti-LGBT rights. I mean, where there is a reason to be nefarious, they will find a way to be nefarious. And the best way that we can do that is to be on our game at all times. Know that defense is always the best offense. And I thank all you guys for coming out and being on our side of this. No one's forcing you to do it. You're doing it because you care. And I thank you guys for that. So.
All right, y'all, give it up for Sean one time. As he said, you know, Georgia's his family, and just as Donna was just saying, experiencing the unimaginable. I'm just glad that he's willing to come and speak, you know, his piece. And even though obviously going through this time and time again, it's like reliving like that tragedy. But we just hope that through that tragedy, the inspiration to get in and do the work can lead us to a place where we don't have to continue to go through that anymore. Next up, we have a special woman, somebody who's been involved in this work for a long, long time around here, somebody who's been a big part of like getting police accountability passed. Like, that's not something that just popped up this year and just happened. Like, that was a culmination of like work and work and work, many, many years, many people putting in work towards making that happen. And this is an elected official, so she's here because like we wanted her here. Give a round of applause for Joanne Arson.
How you doing out there? This brings back so many fabulous memories. A year ago I was here and I asked for your help. We were at a moment in time where I told you that your voice would make a difference. And because you marched, because you wrote letters, 57,000 of them to be exact, because 700 of you showed up at City Hall to testify on the city budget, we did the impossible. We cut $15 million out of Portland Police Bureau's budget at a time where we were told it was too late. Remember, this was in June. And I'm having a flashback because we just passed another insufficient budget. We just passed another budget that prioritized police over community. We just passed a budget that is investing in garbage removal and graffiti removal, but not in the people of the city of Portland. So I'm here once again saying I need your help. I need you on the phone calling every city council member that voted wrong on the Portland street response and demand they do better in June. I need you to do this for the people in the city of Portland. It is inexcusable that we sent a sniper to a mental health call and a sniper kills someone 90 feet away. That can no longer be acceptable in the city of Portland. Here's one thing that really frustrates me to no end. I have worked on Portland street response for the last 3 years. Chief Sarah Boone, the other high-ranking African-American woman at City Hall, has worked on Portland street response for the last 3 years. Do you think any of the men, 2 days after the mayor's budget came out, who said they were voting against Portland street response, talked to me, the commissioner that helped create Portland street response? Do you think they talked to Fire Chief Sarah Boone, an African-American woman with 28 years experience in the Portland Fire Bureau? So tell me, how come a white dude that says he's mayor can go behind closed doors and sell a false narrative to 2 brand new colleagues? Now, I really don't blame my brand new colleagues because they're new, but didn't I deserve a phone call? Did Chief Boone deserve a phone call? Like, what are we? Like, toast bread or something? I was absolutely outraged, but I used my anger. I was mad. Oh, I was so mad about Portland street response. But you may have noticed a couple of budget tricks that I did. The mayor who talked about truth and reconciliation forgot to fund it. But I added $250,000 in our budget to start a truth and reconciliation process. We have a Black employees group called CAN, the city's African American network. They, as volunteers, identified that 43% of Black employees had left the city of Portland in the last 3 years. The proposed budget said, have Human Resources develop a Black leadership program, as if there was something wrong with the 43% Black people who could not have a career at the city of Portland. I wonder what they would have done if 43% of the people left were white. Let me tell you what their solution. Again, the solution was give the Human Resource Department that is failing Black employees the opportunity to create a leadership program. So I had to rewrite that budget part and say, guess what? How about we have a council work session and bring the CAN researchers to tell us what they found and what the solutions are. It wasn't complicated for me because guess what? I respected those people who spent their time analyzing data to prove the racially unjust outcomes at the city of Portland. Today, we have 14 programs that are supposed to benefit minority and women-owned firms. And you may be surprised to know that white men still are the major beneficiary of all the minority and women set-aside programs. White women are the second largest beneficiaries. And it is embarrassing to me when I get contracts of millions of dollars and they tell me they can't find black people. Like, where'd you look? You can't find Latinx people. Where'd you look? You can't find women that aren't related to you. Where'd you look? We have an institutional problem. And the institutional problem is there are many in our community that want to pretend last year didn't happen. It was a bad dream. And they just want to wake up and go back to normal. I refuse to go back to an unjust normal. I refuse to go back to unjust systems. I refuse to allow the status quo to think that buildings are more important than people. And if you believe that, I need you. I have done everything I promised you last year. I told you we were going to win a ballot measure to create a truly independent police oversight. And guess what? 82% of Portlanders said, hell yeah. I told you we had to go to Salem and pass Senate Bill 621. And because of the excellent work of a lot of people, but Darren Golden, we have passed it out of committee. The last stop is the House floor. Already passed out of the Senate, House floor, last stop. So if you call your House of Representatives members and say, get that bill out now. We have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of opportunity to do it right. And I need your help, because I know without your pressure, my colleagues want to go back to just pretending Black lives mattered last year. But did they matter this year? Yeah. Did they matter in the budget? Did they matter in the policy decisions that we're making? Didn't look like it to me. So that's why I need you. But guess what? The kind of progress that we've made in a year is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I have you to thank for that. Without you, it was impossible. But we did it. And you see now that the powers are coming back, trying to grab up the resources, trying to prettify downtown so that we can bring back businesses or conventions. I tell downtown conventions aren't coming back anytime soon, people. Get a grip. Downtown will not be bustling anytime soon. Get a grip. Let's take care of the people who are suffering on our street first as our priority. People that want to make money, they made a lot of money during the pandemic. But we have people who are economically devastated, and we don't have a solution for them. We all know July 1st, when the eviction moratorium ends, we will have 10,000 more houseless people on our street. Do you hear any elected official with a plan on what we're going to do for them? No. But they got a plan on removing graffiti. They got a plan on picking up trash. If you take care of the people, the trash will disappear. We got work to do, people, but I'm in it. I came here for one reason, and that was to make people's lives better. And if you want to help me with that, I need your help. Thank you.
All right, so at this time we're going to paying homage and commemorating the life of George Floyd further, but more specifically. And right now we have a young man, Andre. He's going to read a poem dedicated to George Floyd.
So a couple of weeks ago, we had the privilege of being able to go to Minneapolis while the verdict came down for Derek Chauvin. And we were introduced to a young man named Brandon Tullock, who's an activist and organizer in Minneapolis, and he was very powerful. My son right here, Andre Miller, is actually gonna read one of his poems that he actually he wrote, but it was a powerful poem, and a lot of powerful things went on in Minneapolis, and they're actually working for a lot of laws and legislation, some of the same stuff that we're working on here in Portland, Oregon.
That's right, Matthew.
As I stand in the land of the free, home of the brave, I ask, is this what freedom feels like? I may have removed the shackles from my feet, but my mind is still chained to the traumas that play on repeat in my head. Why is it always black bodies outlined in white chalk? Brown faces resembling mine slammed into the blacktop at the hands of white cops. When will it stop? I'm sorry that I'm a threat to you, but am I a thug or am I misunderstood? Am I misunderstood or do you not care to understand me? See, when I was born, I couldn't make my skin any lighter. I couldn't make my hair any straighter, and I couldn't make my eyes blue. And as I walk by you, I cannot smile any bigger. I cannot nod my head any harder. I cannot seem any more friendly. Regardless of any of your demeanor, I try to copy. So when you stop me, I cannot put my hands any more up. I cannot sit any more still. I can't resist any less. So now as I protest, I cannot write on signs any larger. I cannot march any farther. I cannot raise my fist any higher. I cannot raise my voice any louder. I cannot be any more peaceful. I'm sorry that I'm a threat to you. But as I stand in the land of 10,000 lakes, I'm drowning. Not because you think I cannot swim. I'm drowning in the tears shed for each new tombstone as we make it. This country, you act like we hate it, even though we made it. And I can't wait for my son or grandson or great-grandson to pray up one day and say, we finally made it. But as we continue to have funerals for black bodies, oppressive cities and systems will continue to be cremated. Our bodies, our language, our culture have been looted for centuries. So this chaos you see is a mere glimpse into our daily reality. And as you rush to board up your storefronts to protect your merchandise, just remember, we've had our voices boarded up for our entire lives. I'm drowning in fear that the next hashtag could be me. Will he lynch me? Because nowadays, Willie Lynch's favorite letters are PD and DA and AG. I'm sorry that I'm a threat to you. As I stand in the land of the free, home of the brave, I may not know freedom, but black and brave are synonymous. Because every day that I choose to exist, I met with those who wish to end my existence. But we are resistant, we are resilient, we are brilliant. Only 13% of the population, but have so much influence on the hundreds of millions. I'm sorry that I'm a threat to you, but I understand why. Because as I stand in the land of 10,000 lakes, I've seen a small ripple turn into a wave, a tsunami, a hurricane of a movement that has since traveled throughout the world. The power that we have is immeasurable. And this movement has made it to your front door, and we are no longer knocking. We are demanding entrance, and we are not taking no for an answer. Going back is not an option. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. I am no longer sorry. I am unapologetic. When it comes to my liberation, I am unapologetic. We are unapologetic. Thank you.
Yo, give that man a round of applause. Yo, I just wanted to take a second real quick to acknowledge the other brother here, the other Andre Miller. I didn't know that he was gonna come and introduce his own son. I would have introduced him first. But Andre was a big part of making sure that these protests went off without a hitch last year. Me and him walked together a lot, did a lot of de-escalation, and he's also proof that Joanne is really like about the community, and because she gave him a shot at leading her community engagement efforts. So let's give them a round of applause for that. So now we're gonna sing together, y'all.
All right, we thought it would be nice to sing a song together in a memorial for George Floyd. So you all have the flyers, and the words are on the back of the flyer to What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. And it's relevant and sad and good, and we can be here in this moment together and sing it. So let's do it. Apparently it's the 50th anniversary of this song. I don't know when it starts, is the problem. So you should come do it. I don't know where it is, sorry. We gotta start it over. There's too many of you dying. Brother, brother, brother. There's far too many of you dying. Oh, we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today.
Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate.
I tried.
You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today.
Picket lines, protest signs, punish me with brutality. You can see, oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, what they to judge us simply cause our hair is long. Oh, you got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket lines, picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Come talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for an A for effort.
We're gonna have just like a moment to reflect Just like, think about this year. Think about what it's meant. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here for George Floyd. We have one last speaker for you, actually, who's going to come and explain what's going on in Palestine, because that's relevant and it's here and it's now, and we need to know about it. And we've been so graciously joined by our excellent Jed. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. So, the reason why I came up to you guys to tell you what's going on in Palestine, because I just want to again quote Martin Luther King Jr. He said one time that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. That makes us all on the same page. That makes us all standing up for the same cause. Whether black people or Palestinian people or anybody, we are all standing up for injustice, racism, whatever it is, whatever you call it. It is all the same face for injustice. So I want to educate you what is going on in Palestine, because a lot of people are lacking information because the media here is lying to most of us. What's going on in Palestine? So before 1948, you know, Hitler and all of that, he was killing the Jews and all of them, and Palestine was a country to give them a home, to give them a place to stay in, to give them a home. And they went in there, and in 1948 they just decided to make it their own country because whatever reason they had. And they say, you know, like Balfour Promise and all of this bullshit, all of these stuff are meaningless. All of these stuff are just to add confusion so nobody can actually understand what is going on in Palestine. And they just, you know, like with more confusion and confusion, and they made it about thousands of years of conflict and bullshit until they became in their place. But really, all it is, it's occupation, it's invasion of a country. And now, to make it more relevant to you guys, the same thing that actually happened to George Floyd in here happened in Palestine multiple of times. The same exact incident happened in Palestine for one Palestinian person. So the reason why I came here is to actually tell you guys that, you know, Martin Luther King freed the black people, and he was one of the most important people. And now we are coming here to continue what he was doing by following what he said, that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So let's all stand up for Palestine like we will stand up for you guys, and I know you guys will stand up for us. So please join us every 4 p.m. every Saturday and every Sunday at 4 p.m. Thank you guys. Justice Center. 4 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday.
Every Saturday at 4 p.m. Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. at the Justice Center. Is that new?
All right, that wraps up our programming today. So we're gonna settle up and get back to the truck. It's being pulled around. We're gonna keep it together, keep it tight, and make our way back to Revolution Hall.
I don't
Just
know if
stay
I'm gonna march all the way.
together, and we'll get home safely.
I
All
had
right,
surgery,
thanks,
so
y'all.
I can blame it on that. Are you marching all the way back? Are you? Yeah. I don't know if I will. Hopefully my ride drove here. Hopefully. I don't know if I want to walk all the way back.
I wouldn't know how to get it from the car, so I could go back.
How many miles is it? 40-minute walk or something like that. Definitely a good cardio workout. Hey, the real Kyoto kid? Thank you. It's a nice view behind me. asking me about the events. They used to be, was it PDX BLM events on Instagram, but I mean, they still post in their stories, but they're not posting the flyers every day like they were. You got it, Gary. So people usually just send me flyers after they make them or after they find them, and then I go on Instagram and look on there.
Send them to me.
Yeah,
I get out here.
Yeah, I follow a few people on Instagram and Twitter who put flyers up. So, and then I'll share those with other streamers. Yeah, and then I'll also hear about events while I'm at an event like I did today. So yeah, this next week will be super busy, and if you're in the Portland area, come out to my event. It'll be at Revolution Hall on the 28th. Hopefully I'll have a little video ready. I'm editing some like protest stuff and clipping it and clipping some interviews. Hopefully I can figure out how to get it together into a short video. It might, like, I don't know if it's definitely not going to be like a blockbuster, but since I don't have a lot of time, it might just be like punk rock, like a punk rock video or something, like all clipped together. We'll see. Either way, it'll be interesting. I've been wanting to put my like make a short video for a long time. It'll be made in like a week. So, and I'm just learning how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. So yeah, I'm learning in the process. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I don't know if I'll be marching back to Revolution Hall or not. Hey Robert, have you been lurking? I'll give you your sweater back if I don't walk back. I'm just gonna go see if my ride drove here, which I think they did. I'm tired. I think I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. I've been like marching all around Portland.
Yeah, if you got a ride, I would be happy to get a ride back.
Oh yeah. There's little pokey things in this grass along with all the bird poop. Did you notice that? There's like little pokey things. They're like poking me in the booty. Good night, the real Kyoto kid.
Are you gonna go back over?
Did you drive over?
Yeah, I'm over here.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just drive with you. Can she get a ride?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How are you?
Rebecca Little Bird.
Oh, hello.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with me. Here.
Bye.
Beautiful Rebecca Little Bird. Peace, love, donuts. I will probably be streaming tomorrow. I might take like Monday and Tuesday off, but there's a big event on Wednesday. There's one on Thursday.
Several on Friday, several on Saturday.
My event on Friday, and then several on Saturday. Yeah. You don't need to know about any other events on Friday. Just mine.
Unless you want to go to Oregon City and leave early and go yours.
No, there's nothing else going on Friday. Like, leave your calendar open for my event. There's nothing else happening. Just some fascists in Oregon City. Much love. Have a good night. Look at this view, though. Woo. Bye, Manuel.